Hello everyone, it's strawberryelli here and thank you so much for joining me in another video. In my previous video I was sharing with you my top 5 healthy habits and one of them was journaling. Now a lot of you guys were asking me under this video if I could make a whole dedicated video for the topic of journaling since they were struggling with how to get started, and I thought that would be a really good idea, so that's why we're here today. I want to share with you my benefits of journaling, how to get started, tips on that, and also some of my struggles. So I hope this video will be helpful for you, and without further ado, I'd say let's get started with the topic of journaling. It was a little under 2 years ago when I was traveling through Thailand that I went through a really emotional phase in my life, and I didn't know how to handle my emotions and my stress and my feelings. And I knew from friends before that they were journaling that it really helped them to deal with their emotions. So what I did, I started a 30-day journal challenge. So what I did is I set myself up for journaling every single day for the next 30 days. Now, with any challenge like that, it can be really helpful to actually form a habit, and for me it helped me, but I know that's not for everyone, but I would definitely suggest trying something like that and you will see what happens. It helped me a lot during that time to definitely get started. I have to say, after the 30 days I did not continue journaling every single day since then, but that is perfectly fine because I found my balance with it. Now, what do you actually write down once you start journaling? I know that a lot of people ask me that as well because they were struggling, and what I would suggest is to just sit down and describe what you did during the day. As I said, I mostly journal at night. You can also do that in the morning to kind of get yourself into the right mindset for the day, but I like to do it at night to kind of just look back at the day and see how I was dealing with certain situations and how certain things made me feel and what kind of emotions and thoughts were coming up during the day, and kind of think about where they were coming from, and then also how I dealt with certain situations or connections, relationship, anything like that, really just describing how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what emotions come up, and then you can go deeper into it and maybe figure out where these emotions come from, what made you feel that way, and just kind of analyze your whole thinking process, your feelings, emotions, anything like that. Now, with writing down your feelings and what your thoughts are and what emotions come up through certain situations or connections, it definitely helps you to just gain a perspective and also makes you more aware of your feelings and your emotions. And this awareness helps you to release these really powerful emotions and also release a lot of anxiety and stress that could come up. As I said, I go on and off with journaling, but when I do journal, and that can be for 2 weeks like straight every single day, there is a reason for it. So for example, I go through a really stressful and emotional time, and journaling really helps me to just be aware of my emotions, what I'm going through and where these emotions come from, what I'm feeling, and how can I deal with these emotions. By writing everything down, I go through the whole process, and I know it can be really difficult, but you do gain a kind of outside perspective, because I would almost compare to talking to another person and sharing how you're feeling, that you almost become more aware of what you're actually going through. And sometimes the problem that you go over and over through in your head just seems so big, but once you actually talk it, or in this case write it out and go through it, you realize that it's not that big and that you can go through it and that you can deal with it on your own. And this feeling that you can deal with your stress and your anxiety and all these emotions that come up can be really empowering. That you have the power to deal with all this emotional stress, that you can handle it just by going through it yourself, analyzing it, seeing where it comes from, and just going with it, also appreciating every single emotion, every feeling, every thought. It comes from you, and that is perfectly fine. Not judging yourself for it, but just being aware and see how you can deal with it and what you can do with these emotions so that can benefit you in your daily life, so that you're able to deal with certain situations and that you actually have the control about how you react, and that some emotions come and go, and that you're aware of that, and that you not let them overcome you and take everything out of you, and that you, as I said, deal with it and also live with it. Journaling is definitely a mindful practice. There's so many things that you could do in a day instead to kind of distract yourself from your emotions and how you're feeling. For example, you could watch videos or read or do anything really that kind of takes your mind off from how you're feeling and what you're going through. But journaling is kind of the opposite. It really confronts you with your emotions and how you're feeling. And I know that can be really uncomfortable because you have to be with yourself during that time. You really just in your head, and you have to go through everything, and you might not be ready for that yet. And that is perfectly fine. Just see how far you can go. Start with what you've been doing in a day, how you're feeling, what thoughts come up, and then it will come over time that you are able to process all these emotions through writing. But with writing everything down, as I said, I always gain a different perspective, and it helps me to gain mental clarity, to become more focused also on the things that I enjoy in a day, that bring me joy and that help me to go through really difficult times. And it also helps me to become more grateful for all these things that I do have in my life, for all the love and support I have. And it also helps me to become more focused on the goals I have, the goals I set to myself, things I want to accomplish, and things I want to have in my life that bring me joy and that helps me through these difficult times. Lastly, I want to say that everyone is different. Some people journal every single day, and I think that's great, but not everyone is like that, and you should acknowledge that that is perfectly fine as well. As I said, I go through phases where I journal every single day for 2 weeks because I go through a really emotional and stressful time, and journaling really helps me to release all the stress and the anxiety and all these emotions I'm going through. And something that really helped me to see how I'm doing with certain habits, because I like sticking to my healthy habits because they kind of keep me accountable, they set me up for a good day and that I'm feeling good. I like to keep a habit tracker in my bullet journal, and I mentioned that in my previous video as well. And I have a page in my bullet journal where I just have written down all my habits that I want to keep track on, and every single night I sit down and see what habits I've done that day. And one of these is journaling. So when I see, for example, that I haven't journaled for a week or 2 weeks, then I know that it's time that maybe I should just sit down and see how I'm feeling and how I've been doing. Because sometimes it can just be that I know that I'm going through something, but I don't want to face it. I don't want to sit down yet and actually overthink it and go through all of it, because as I said, it can be really emotional, and a lot of people can't do that. They also don't want to write. I see that if you're not into writing down all your feelings can be really difficult. So what I suggest is talking to someone, talking to a friend or a family member or a therapist, someone that is really completely out of the situation and doesn't know what you're going through, and you kind of can just talk to them about everything, how you're feeling and what your thoughts are. Whatever it is what you prefer doing, if it's talking to someone or if it's journaling, as I said in this video, that helps you to release all these emotions, all this emotional stress and anxiety, then please go for it. Make a habit out of it and trying to stick to it. And it doesn't have to be every day, as I said, just find a balance, and that is for everyone different. Just see what works best for you, and then you will see that journaling will also bring you a lot of amazing benefits that I've already mentioned in this video. So that was everything I wanted to share with you about journaling. I hope this was helpful for you and maybe inspiring to pick up your pen and just get started with writing down how you're feeling. If you have any more questions or you're still struggling, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to help you out and just share more of my experience about journaling with you guys. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. I upload videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much for being here, for all your love and support. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day and I see you in my next video. Bye guys.